What is going on, nerds and nerdettes? It's your boy Stevie B with this week's haul video. Oh man, as I know I promised in the last one that this week was going to have a big key book that I knocked off my hit list, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I apologize. It wasn't meant to be clickbait. It was an error on my part. I bought the wrong book thinking it was one book when it was clearly not that book that I thought it was. So I'm not even going to show you the book that I bought erroneously until next week when I get the real book, because I did get the right book. I did what y'all ever just rage spend. You get mad and you're like, I'm just getting the damn thing. Well, that's what happened. I got the wrong book and realized that I made a mistake, and due to my own lack of attention to detail, I got excited because I thought I found a really good deal, and as my mama always said, but if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And it was. So I will show you the book next week that I bought erroneously. And it's one that I already have, which makes it even worse because I already had the book that I bought. But anyway, we will get into some other stuff. I did get a few books from Midtown. Not many, and quite honestly, a couple of books that I regret even getting because they were free and I just can't pass it up because they're free. But what's in the news today other than Trump demolishing the White House? Which, by the way, since I brought it up, I know not comic book related, but I thought I would throw people a bone here that, the anti-Trumpers, the Democrats that hate Trump. I agree with you guys on this one, okay? Ripping the White House down is low on the priority list. A ballroom is not what this country needs right now. People can't afford to eat, can't afford to buy a house, they can't afford to buy a car. They can't afford, the basic necessities of life. Let's build a ballroom. Not on board with it. So you see, I'm not 100%. I'm able to see when Trump does something stupid just as well as I can see when the other side does something stupid. People think I'm 100% right leaning. I'm not. I am middle of the road, but I lean more towards the right than the left because the left is just absolutely batshit crazy. But again, not a fan of tariffs, and certainly not a fan of remodeling the White House when the country is suffering right now, when the public is suffering right now. Low priority. It's time to get your priorities straight. Quit measuring dicks with the rest of the world leaders and start focusing on what people need as Americans. That being said, I'll move on now. Make that the least of my political rants. Man, there was so much. I'm embarrassed because there was so much coming out of Comic Cons, so much news and I haven't really dug into it enough to talk about it yet. So I know there's some news about World's Finest and stuff like that. I know they're doing some reshoots for Supergirl. But I think I mentioned that I did finish Peacemaker. Wasn't a fan of that. Stopped watching Gen V after about 3 episodes because it was so cringy that I was just over it. Hopefully The Boys is better, the pilot or the flagship series. A lot of news is stuff that's been in the news for years, and we're like, okay, yeah, Lanterns TV series, been talking about it for 5 years now. Get it done already. there's a lot of stuff I wish they would get out of the perpetual planning mode and actually pull the trigger on some of this stuff, and let's get the ball rolling. Anyway, let's get into some books. Let me know what you think. Is DC stuck in the perpetual planning stage? Are they just always, we got plans, but you never see it come to fruition? Whereas Marvel, it says, hey, we're going to make a Fantastic Four movie. There it is, 2 weeks later. I mean, it just seems like DC is, which is sad, because DC is more methodical and more, they put more thought into their projects, and yet they turn out crappy most of the time. Superman was great, but they turn out, Marvel is kicking their ass in the cinematic universe for the most part. DC, however, is kicking Marvel's ass in the animated movie stuff, and the animated movie stuff. Nightfall is coming out. They decided they were going to do Nightfall, which I'm excited for. Hopefully they don't butcher it like they did Death of Superman. They butchered that one so bad that they went in and redid it because, yeah, we did it bad. And the Death in the Family was just weird. It's like I watched that movie twice because they released another animated series which was essentially the same damn movie. There's Death in the Family, and then there was what was the other one? It was like a flashback, and all they did was flashback to the events of Death in the Family. I can't remember the name of it. Light me up in the comments. Let me know. Any rate, let's get into it. All right, let's just start off with the bummer ones that I kind of the freebies, I think. And what kills me is these were all second printings too, so that means I already got these freebies. And why they did a second printing of them is baffles the mind. I don't know why, but I saw they were free, and I'm not going to pass it up because they're free. But the first one is Batman Gotham Sampler Preview, #1. Again, this was a second or third. This is a third printing or second printing. I don't know, but it is not a first printing. I got a first printing one. This will honestly probably go in a giveaway. I don't know why they go into two, three printings of freebie comic books. I mean, really. And the next one was Batman Year 2, #1 Special Edition. This was also a freebie, and I believe this was the second printing as well. I do have the first printing of it. Again, it was free. It was free, so I got it. Do y'all get the free shit at comic books, even though it's shit that you have no interest in whatsoever? You just grab it because it's free. That is my curse. I do it all the time. And last, from my Midtown, I was excited to see this one. I was excited. I wish they would do more of these. They're doing a lot of facsimiles of books that aren't necessarily key books. I want the major key books. I want full facsimiles of those, not just ones that had cool cover. You know, I didn't get any of the full facsimiles of what was it? Was it Hush or was it Long Halloween that they did full facsimiles of? I can't remember, but I didn't get any of those. Not a key book. But this one, Action Comics, #252, first appearance of Supergirl. You knew it was coming with the Supergirl movie, you know, on the horizon. But so glad they did a full facsimile of this one. Absolutely stoked to get that. I wish I could afford the original, but there's a lot of books out there, man. You know, everybody's talking about, are we seeing the collapse of the comic book industry again, or is the hobby faltering? And I think it is a little, but I don't think it's to the extent that they're trying to make it out to be. But you know, selfishly as a collector, Wouldn't hurt my feelings if people just lost complete interest in them for a while. Just long enough for me to get them big key books when they plummet in price and you can steal them for nothing. It wouldn't hurt my feelings, I'm not going to lie. Just to see it. Just long enough for me to get them. There's some big books out there that are just a hair out of my price range. But if people lost interest in comic books and the hobby died out just for a little bit, those would come down where I could probably afford them. So I know that's selfish of me. Selfish. Bad collector. But we've all thought it. Come on, we have all thought it. Like those people that bash people for going into the comic book stores and buying up every copy of something. You'd do it too. You'd do it too. You know, if they were selling ASM 300s at a convention and the guy was just selling them for $50 a piece as a promo thing and you were first in line, you'd buy every single copy of them and you wouldn't give a damn who was buying you. So admit it. But anyway, last but not least, this comes from eBay. I was telling y'all about this. Apparently this guy was really proud of it because he had it hanging on his wall. You can tell by the thumbtack holes and the backing board in the bag. I'll rebag it. But this is Batman number 515. And remember I was telling you about the progressive. This is the blacked out one. You can barely see it. The embossed covers where they debuted the underwearless new bat suit. But it progressed. It progressed. So this was the first one that came out, and Shadow the Bat, what number is it? 35 was the second one. You got a little more of it. Then Detective Comics 682 was the third one. You got a little bit more. And then boom, Into the Light, brand new costume, no draws. Robin number 14 was the final one, and they were all embossed. I just thought they're not worth any money. I just thought it was a really cool set to have with the embossed covers. So I wanted them. It was cheap enough that I could pull the trigger on them and get them. But so I was happy to get them for a decent price. Oh, but that's the haul. Next week I'm gonna leave this book out here. It is out here, I promise you. And ooh, little peek, boop. That's it. But I don't wanna. If I show you the book that I screwed up on this past week, and then it'll give away the big one that I actually finally pulled the trigger on. So, and what's sad is this is a lower grade copy of the one that I already have. So, did I overpay for it? Yeah, maybe not. I think it was a fair price. Let's put it that way for it, but probably not. I wouldn't have bought it had I realized it was the book it was, even at the price it was. Anyway, we're going to keep this one short. This is a little one this week. Like I said, I told you last week it was going to be a small haul video. But anyway, that is going to do it for this one. Before you go, if y'all wouldn't mind, please do all those YouTube things we love for you to do. Like, subscribe, comment, share, and we will see y'all in the next one. Peace.